Hi, this is Dawn from Embracing Our Life, and today we're going to process some papaya for the first time. Our family's not really tried papaya, and the Lord blessed us with a bunch of papaya this week, so we were able to bless quite a few people, and this is what we have left. So I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos, looking at a bunch of recipes on what to do with papaya. So I'm going to bring you along and kind of show you what we plan to do. One of the things that I'd like to do is save some of these seeds and try and grow a papaya tree. So we'll see how that goes. The seeds are edible. I'm learning a lot about papaya. So if you have any papaya recipes that you love, feel free to leave them in the comments below. So the first thing I'm going to do with my papaya is I'm going to save all these wonderful seeds. I have heard that you can grow a papaya tree, and M.I. Gardner actually has a video about it, so I am intrigued. I also have a lemon tree that my church blessed me with, and so I figure I can just start my own little orchard that I can keep in pots and bring in the house and can live out in the greenhouse during the summer and fall. So I will be saving these. You also can eat these. They taste very peppery from what I've heard. We haven't tasted them yet, and we hope to. You can dry them out and eat them like you would do seasoning. So I'm going to check out some videos on how to do that, and I might share that with you as well. Papaya is a great fruit. There are two kinds of papaya, a red papaya and a green papaya. The ones that the Lord blessed us with last week are red papaya. You will notice when you cut it in, it's got this really pretty coral red color. These papayas were already ripe when we got them. They were already very much yellow and orange, and some of them even had a little red tint to it. But when you buy a papaya, it might be green. And in order to get it to be ripe, just set it on your counter for a few days. Papayas are very high in antioxidants. They are high in fiber. They are high in vitamins A, C, and K. They support our immune system. They are anti-inflammatory, and they have a digestive enzyme called papain. So I am so excited that we can use these papayas that God has given us in a way to help our family. So if you have ever had papaya before, like I said, if you have a favorite recipe about papaya, or if you have never had papaya before, feel free to leave the comments below. I would love to chat with you about our experience with this and some of the wonderful recipes that we're going to make. So let's get to skipping out our seeds. Now you will notice when you skip out your seeds that they kind of have a little bit of gel around them, and they smell kind of musky. Now the first time I cut this open, this flesh looked very moist, and the musky smell kind of caught me by surprise. If you're not used to that, it might take you a little bit to kind of understand that that's just how it is. I've also heard that there's a little bit of a musky flavor to it, so we will try that and see. I think before I go ahead and cut the rest of this, I am going to try me a little bit. A lot of people have said the best way to eat papaya is with some lime juice or some salt and pepper. I've never had papaya, so I think the best way for me to try it is just like this. It's very mild. It's very subtly sweet. It's got a moist, buttery texture. It's a lot more softer than like a cantaloupe. But it does have that that musky undertone. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Almost kind of nutty, I would think. So yeah, not too bad. I think it'll taste great in smoothies. Some of the recipes that we've looked at doing are papaya banana oatmeal muffins or papaya coconut oatmeal muffins. So yeah, give this a try. I'm going to go ahead and keep processing. Okay, I have all of my papayas cut in half. I have all of my seeds scraped out. There are 2 big bowls full of seeds. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those up like a melon, where you can just slice them like this, and then you could take the flesh out. Some people say you can peel them, but mine are already pretty ripe, so I'm going to try and just do the melon, cut it like a regular melon, and get some slices in a bowl. Now I have 2 separate bowls here. I'm going to do chunks of papaya here that I will puree or put in the freezer to be used for like papaya smoothies and breads and desserts. And then I have this one where I'm going to hopefully do some sliced papayas that I can dehydrate and try and have as a So when you cut a papaya up, you're going to do it just like you do a regular melon. You're just going to cut slices like this. And then you're going to cut the flesh right off. It's very soft, very tender. This can be chickens. These papayas are pretty ripe, but you could kind of see how there is sometimes a yellow line here to go up. But ours is already a pretty coral color, and so we're just cutting down and leaving a little bit of flesh there. 1, because it's great for our chickens, but 2, I just want to make sure that I don't get too close to the skin. It's pretty simple, and then once you have a bit like this, you're just going to take your knife and go like this, and you can have your papaya chunk. This is what we ended up with, 3 really large bowls full. This one I'm going to stick in my dehydrator and try some. And these 2 I'm going to put in freezer bags, and I'm going to do them by 2 cups or a little over 2 cups. Most recipes I'm finding use about 2 cups of pureed mango. And I figure I'm not going to go through the process of pureeing this. This is a really soft mango. Once it goes in the freezer and once it thaws out, it's already going to be pretty soft. I can throw that through my blender if I want to, or just mash it up with a fork. So I'm going to save myself a step today, and I'm going to go ahead and just bag up Ziploc bags in about 2 cup measures for those 2 back bowls right there. And then get this one in the dehydrator, and yeah, set a little bit aside so that we can try it. All the papaya is now bagged up. I have 2 full trays on the dehydrator in the back room going, and so we ended up with a whole lot of papaya. I did 2 cups, and most of these bags, these 2 bags, I did 4 cups. I figured if I wanted to double a recipe, then I would be able to have, 1 bag I can pull out. And also, I realized I don't have a whole lot of freezer space, so it's going to be quite tricky to try and fit all this back there. And then over here with the little bits that were left, I just did papaya smoothie, and that basically will go in the front freezer in the kitchen so that I can grab them when we try and make smoothies with. So we ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 cups. We got 12 bags of the 2 cups. So we got 24 cups, plus we got these 2 bags at 8 cups. So 32 cups. I would say these are probably close to 2 cups too. So we got close to 36 cups of papaya, diced papaya. that we'll use for recipes. Now I'm going to get a few hands so that I can take this all back to the back room by our freezer in one trip and get this all put away. Okay, so all of our papaya seeds have been soaking for about 2 days in water so that I can break up some of that, membrane that was around it. And so I've drained them and tried to get out as much of the papaya flesh as I could. There's still some little bits in there, but that'll be fine. I got my trays ready. I am going to put some papaya seeds in this, and I'm going to sit this in front of the window, and I'm going to have these seeds dry out. Those are going to be our planting seeds. We're going to experiment with trying to grow a papaya tree, and that way I can be able to, give to some friends too who want to experiment with me. And then these 2 trays, we're going to take turns in the oven. They are going to bake at 175 for about 2 hours, and I will check them and see if they're nice and dry, and I will keep rotating them out until all of my papaya seeds are done. I did line my cookie sheets with parchment paper. My hope is that I could just keep reusing it. I figure I probably will need a couple batches, and that way my pan won't get extremely dirty from the seeds drying out. So let's go ahead and get our papaya seeds in our trays and get ready to do the last part of our preserving project with papayas today. One thing that you will notice is this just feels so fun. So if you ever end up with a huge bowl, of papaya seeds, take a moment and relax and run your fingers through it, because it's relaxing. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I wish I could just put my hands and my feet in it. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get these going. I'm just going to try and put a thin layer on this paper towel. Now this cookie sheet, or this cake pan, I've lined with paper towels that I'm going to dry these out for seed to share and to try and plant. So we're going to try and get a very thin layer, but also try and get as much seed in here as we can. Now, I haven't really done a whole lot of research on whether or not you can still plant the seeds that we are going to be baking and drying in the oven. I'm sure at some point you probably could, but I just thought this would be the easiest way to do this. One pan done. We're going to get these guys over here. I don't exactly know. I was going to get a scoop to put these on here, but this is kind of relaxing. Like I said, these papaya seeds feel very much like relaxing thing to do. To run your fingers through. It's real relaxing to get my hands down in there. Not putting my hands in dirt quite yet, but I can put my hands in a big old bowl of papaya seeds. They do almost feel, they feel like Orbeez, but they do look a little bit like fish eggs too. Anyway. All the different things we can say about papaya seeds, right? Okay, so this one's going to be in a thin layer, and then I'm going to check these in the oven probably every, maybe every 20 minutes, just to kind of keep an eye on them. Every oven is different. The lighting on my camera is going in and out. But I'm going to check these every 20 minutes or so in the oven. I know all of our ovens temperature varies, so we just want to make sure we get that. Now I think I'm going to be able to do probably one more batch with this cookie sheet when these get done, so that's not too bad. I knew it would take a couple batches. Alrighty, when the oven is preheated, we'll get these guys in. Well, y'all, it is 11 o'clock at night, and I just pulled these out of the oven. Yes, they did not take 2 hours. Actually, I should say, no, they did not take 2 hours in the oven. I ended up going up to 180. It took all day. So I do think I'm going to take my next 2 batches and throw them in the dehydrator tomorrow and just kind of see if I could get them dehydrated there. But I'll bring you in for a closer look at what these look like. They are all dry. I kept checking them every 20 minutes or so, making sure. My camera doesn't like to focus very well. but making sure that they weren't moist at all. And so they look a lot smaller than they did before. They will be perfect to try the spice and see how they taste. So we are going to let these cool tonight on the table, trying to give you a good idea of what they look like. My camera is not doing very well at focusing, but I tried to zoom in a little bit on the back ones in here. You can see they're just brown. They've got some stripes on them. If you look really close to them, and they're kind of shriveled up a little bit, and you just want to make sure that they're completely dry. So we will let these guys dry and cool off tonight, and then tomorrow we will pack them all up.